Okay. Now here is another example where, well, this is a little more involved. So we want several columns from several different tables, right? So you have to look through the, you have to look at, so here is the, uh, if you log in, if you have MySQL Workbench, you can use the credentials that I've given and you can log in and you can take a look at the tables. So if you have the tables here, okay, so you have the customer, okay, all of these different names, and then employees, and so on. Now we want to, let's look at the code here to get all of these variables. You have to look for those variables in the different tables, and then you have to join them. So the query that should go into the dot execute, now instead of simply saying, see, select from customer. So now we're going to do a lot of joining. So we are going to put that into an object itself, the query. So multi-line comment is 3 quotation marks. So everything that is in between the 3 quotation marks, multi-line will be a single object, single text. Okay. So here you're joining invoice. There is a table called invoice line. There is a table called invoice. There is a table called track, and we are joining them all based on the ID. Okay. And you don't have to, I'm not going to get into the SQL code part now. So then if you run that, you get the same setup. You set up the cursor, do the execute, and now this time I'm going to execute the text, QText, and then you fetch all. So I'm converting, when I do the fetch all, I'm converting it to a data frame right then and there. And then again use the same list comprehension to pick up the column names, okay, and then set the column names. I'm doing it in one single line. So this is the list comprehension that brings us, or that fetches the column names. I'm setting that into columns here. Okay. So let's look at how we're going to do this. So we want to revise. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste that text here. Okay, and let's call this Q3 text. Right. Now include genre name and media name and setup. So we want okay. So genre name, media name, and setup. Okay, include that as well. So we have all of this already, right? We want to include genre name, so we need to get genre, and then we need to get media type. So they come from 2 different tables, right? So we have that. If you go back to the original list of tables. Okay, so here let's copy that down here to see what they are like. I copied the tables list. So now we have the tables here. So we need am I in the right place? Okay, so I'm here. Let me move this down a little bit. Okay. So we want genre name should come from that table. Okay. So say genre. Okay, and we give a nickname. So genre is G on, and we have to give how to link the two. And for that you need to know each track will have a genre attached to that. Okay. So we have the genre ID. You have to look at the table for this. Genre ID from the genre table should be equal to the genre ID from the track table. Okay. And same here, media type will come from the media type table. So join media type, and we'll give a nickname for media type as M. So M dot media type ID. Okay, again you have to look at the table and see what the column names are. Okay, so the media type ID from M is media type table, that is equal to the track. Okay, media type ID is the track table, so track, the nickname for track is T. So T dot media type ID. So I'm joining two more tables, okay, and each table will have a nickname, and then I have to specify how do I connect. Okay, and you need to examine the tables. So if you go to the SQL workbench and look at the, okay, so if you look at the track table, then you see that it has media type ID, genre ID, and other things. So these are the two columns that we can use to link with the genre table. So we have genre table, genre ID is there, and the media type ID is here. So it will do a one-to-one linking. So you have to look at the table to be able to tell what is the column name that we can use to do the joining. Once that is done, then you add what are the other things that we want here in the select. Okay, you can do M dot media type will come from M, right? So for media type ID is name, so we do M dot name. So the media type will come from the column name in the media type table. So m dot name. Okay, and genre, and once again you go to genre table right here. That also has the column name. So that would be g dot name, and name is uppercase. Now, this is going to be the query that's going to be saved in this text object. Okay. Then I'm going to, so this is the code for extracting. I'm going to copy paste that code. Okay, so DB cursor is set up. Now when you execute, now we want to execute Q3 text. So make that Q3 text. And then this is df, let's call this Q3. df Q3. What happened? Get time. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here I don't have an on here. Okay. So now it's red. Now I have to paste the column names, and column names is going to be that code. Okay, now I need the name of the database is now Q3. Okay. All right, so now I have the media type and the name. So if I need to change the names here. One is the two columns that we have added are just name and name. We need to change the name of those columns so it will be more descriptive.